Hello and welcome to Blog Tornado. How are you? And today we're going to go through an interesting story, to say the least, that find its way into UFO scene. Now, this extraterrestrial like looking creature called Atacama humanoid that came out in 2003, found by Oscar Munoz. That's one thing which we're familiar with already, but the thing is, there's more to it which ties into something else. And like I said, here at Block Tornado, we're trying to connect the dots. And that's what we're going to do today, trying to hunt for the truth. So please stay with me a little bit longer and find out something which I will deliver to you on a silver platter. Okay? And all you have to decide whether it's authentic or it's a lie. And that's pretty much all to it. So please stay with me, and we're starting right now. So, you're probably familiar with Atacama skeleton already, especially now when Dr. Stephen Greer got his hands on it. And as you know, Stephen Greer gets to the bottom of things, right? So he took this Atacama humanoids into a laboratory for DNA testing. And this creature supposedly had human DNA, but not all of it. Or they say it's just a human fetus that had unusual mutations that were associated with dwarfism and scoliosis, okay? So some sort of deformity. Either way, it's not what we're going to go after today, because really, Dr. Stephen Greer has already done that, okay? However, something else came to my attention, which really has got something to do with the public's eye. And please stay with me to get to the bottom of this situation today. So, there is this story. And also, before I go on, I just want to thank Hyperborean's channel. He included some of my videos about Bob Lazar onto his channel, and I'm very thankful for that. So I just want to thank Hyperborean, okay? A lot of informative things going on the channel. It's a vast library of things, interesting people, and one of them, of course, being Max Egan, okay? So do check out his channel, again, Hyperborean, and thank you for including some of my stuff onto your channel. Thank you very much. All right, Hyperborean, land of the giants, according to Greek mythology. A place in Antarctica where sun shines 24 hours a day. A perfect place, okay? So look it up on Wikipedia. However, check out Hyperborean here on YouTube. Either way, now let's get to this interesting story that came from Russia, okay? Stay with me a little bit longer. And also, if you need to pause the video in case my voice is getting monotonous a little bit after talking in one key all the time, please put it on pause, okay? And I will try to put some breaks in between by keeping silent for a few seconds, okay? Anyways, now this story, please stay with me. This story came from Russia. And what really happened is that they found this skeleton or creature that was still alive and was later taken into an apartment, and this person ran for help, and by the time they get back, this creature is already dead. However, they gave it to the authorities, and simply that Atacama looking like skeleton found in Atacama story, which looks similar to it, was later on given to Russian authorities and disappeared. And as you know, the proof always likes to disappear for some reason. So that's another reason why I think this video perhaps could be nothing more but copy of Atacama humanoid. So for what reason? Now I think it's possible that this copy of Atacama situation in the form of documentary from Russia was simply to support Atacama skeleton, which seemed like it came out recently. I could be wrong, but if that's the case, then it's definitely trying to boost up or make the Atacama skeleton look like it was authentic, because they found another one in Russia now. And that's just the thing that I want to talk about. How perhaps they taking this specimen, alien specimen, and using it to gain some kind of attention from the public. And that's where I want you to be careful. Again, if this kind of situations such as Atacama skeleton is going to go through my channel, here is more about the truth and less about entertainment, which I think is the fun part. And with all these fake videos circulating around YouTube, instead of our humanity going up the hill, we're going down the hill. And that's the whole reason why we're not making a progress fast enough, because of this scrutiny, because of this paradox of fakery that's going on YouTube. Okay, you should know by now that perhaps 85% of the videos on YouTube are fake when it comes to aliens, UFOs, because they're easily to fake with CG graphics. Really, it doesn't take that much work. All you need some motion tracking software that goes with it, and a CG program that will create those 3D animation. And if you don't know what motion tracking is basically just getting a simple scenario that doesn't have too much shaking, a footage that can be tracked by software. And usually it has to have something that is very clear and sharp that the software can lock onto, because if it shakes too much, it will lose the tracking, and it will look like the CG will look like it's off balance with the picture, and that's how you can tell it's fake. So whoever is trying to make this video, this footage, will try to get some sort of video that doesn't shake too much, okay? And for the reason being, because the motion tracking software cannot track a shaky footage. Anyways. However, today we're trying to get to the bottom of this situation with another Atacama humanoid. That's the name we're gonna call it for now, which really they were called Gentiles, but okay, let's call it Gentiles. Funny name for these beings, but that's how the cookie crumbles. So supposedly they found another Gentile in Russia, like I said, and the evidence disappeared. So was this whole thing to boost up the Atacama skeleton? Because it seems like it didn't came out too long ago. Again, I could be wrong, but it's right after when Dr. Stephen Greer got hold of it, okay? Do they know each other? You know what I mean? Because this Atacama skeleton is attracting a lot of attention, right? It could have been an extraterrestrials. A lot of people are following UFO scene, since you're going to mention extraterrestrial in the video, right? So that is the puzzling thing right now. Where did this and why did this documentary come out from Russia? That's all I'm wondering about. If it's authentic, well, then that much more kudos to aliens, alien truth. But if it's not, again, so think about it, why they are making it in the first place. And again, it would be to grab public eye and direct it towards them. And that's the suspicious thing to me, which I really don't like. I really despise this kind of fakery that's going on in internet, because we're really not getting anywhere with this. And but there's a bigger problem to this. Let me give you an example. How about, please stay with me a little bit longer. How about if Bob Lazar, Barney Betty Hill, Travis Walton, Calvin Parker all told us the truth, which could have been right. Even though they did, if they did, we have no way of finding out. All we have is their words. And usually these days, words alone don't mean much, okay? You must have a physical proof along with it. And that's the problem with this alien UFO abduction stories. You really need to observe people during the interviews, and you have to be a good observer to read them in order to find out whether they're telling us truth or not. Because if they do, right, oh my God. You can only imagine the type of technology that this is, that's currently available. If we had our hands on it, which supposedly we do, according to Bob Lazar, instead of, going around the block, we can go right through the block. And that around the block could mean hundreds of years from now to get to this type of technology for us to be running around the block. So that's why this UFOs at S4 supposedly in military's hands are so important, okay? Please stay with me to understand something. You might be surprised if I tell you that a lot of wars that are going on currently, whether it's with Korea, North Korea, Russia, but they could have a lot to do with extraterrestrial technology, okay? Because once someone has something like that in their hands, they're going to draw a lot of attention, because it means a shortcut for our humanity and who's in power. It's abnormal growth of some sort. It's like injecting steroids into your body by having these UFO vehicles in our hands, technology that we can learn from. And as you know, there's going to be some sort of abnormal growth in muscles if you take steroids. And exactly the same thing is going on with this UFOs, supposedly, that military had in their hands, which obviously they're not there anymore for a reason. They just disappeared, right? Makes sense. Once Bob Lazar took the story to TV station, they split because, people will probably wanted to come after them, and there are powerful people in the public as well, especially in states where guns are legal. So think about it. And to be quite honest, which I will talk more about Bob Lazar, he's not over yet. There's a lot to talk about him, and he simply, if you read between the lines, he's telling us simply that he's not telling us 80% of the story, okay? And there is a reason for that, which he made a right decision not to reveal something, which I will talk about it down the road as far as Bob Lazar and Zeta Reticuli goes. So please have a look at some of my videos that I just made prior to this ones about Zeta Reticuli and Bob Lazar. Zeta Reticuli decoded and re-encoded. You might want to check re-encoded, okay, because I simplify things a little bit more. And that's what I'm going to do in my video coming up with Bob Lazar and Zeta Reticuli again, and I will simplify it to the best I can, because there's still more things to add, okay? And it's good to keep the wheels running, spinning, that way I can get closer to the truth, right? So I just don't want to forget about it and move on with something else, since we're trying to get to the bottom of this Bob Lazar story. So again, if you need to pause the video, please do so, in case it's becoming monotonous, and I would appreciate if you do come back to follow what I got to say. So thank you very much if you're watching up until now. So now Stephen Greer has been on this case. Again, if he's going to get involved, then we're absolutely gonna get some results out of this, some sort of truth, right? Because Stephen Greer is after the truth. He's a truth seeker, and a good one too. So again, really, I don't know why this story came from Russia that's identical to this. And what I really want to talk about is the fact that I did see some other video about some UFO incident, which already looks suspicious to me. That was the first video I checked out on that channel. But when I saw this Atacama, similar looking like creature, then I thought, okay, well, this is just going over the board. Simply, they want to catch people's attention, especially if they're new channel, which I still have to check out. If they are, maybe I'm wrong. But if they're new, then yes, there's got to be some room for suspicion that they're trying to get people's attention because they're new channel, right? So again, so is mine, but I'm a small channel, and literally I'm not about entertaining people as much, but more getting to the truth, which some people find entertaining, okay? There is Bob Lazar, and there is Star Wars. There's Hollywood, and there is Bob Lazar. Some like to sell merchandise, figurines, all kinds of memorabilia, and some, like Bob Lazar, are not selling anything, no figurines or anything like that, and for a reason too. So really, I'm a big fan of Star Wars, but I like Bob Lazar a lot more. So anyways, like I said, I'm gonna deliver the situation to you on a silver platter. It's up to you to decide. Check the link below and see what it is. It's a Russian documentary story about similar creatures as Atacama skeleton, and to me is a little bit suspicious, okay? That's all I'm saying. Could be that they're simply stealing the idea and put it inside their own pocket, to get some attention from the public, and public shouldn't like that, and it's really up to you, but I certainly don't like that. And then again, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, I'm just giving it to you on a silver platter, and it's up to you to play with it, okay? So wait a minute, that came out right? Anyways, thank you again for staying all the way here. I see you have followed me all the way here, and you're interested in some of the things I got to say. I really appreciate that. And if you haven't fallen asleep yet, which I imagine you probably did, always remember to put me on pause a little bit, or I will try to shut up for a little bit, just to give it a little bit of refresh rate to your ears. It could hurt after a while when somebody's talking consistently in the same note. And but again, like I said, check out Hyperborean channel. Beautiful channel, a lot of informative things going on in the world of politics, and Max Egan as well, and a nice library of things. He collected all kinds of interesting information that perhaps you might not even know about. So it's a great channel to check out, Hyperborean, okay? And that's pretty much all I want to talk about today. And if you do like this video, give it a thumbs up or subscribe here at the bottom right. That would be much appreciated. And don't forget to keep your eyes in the sky and have a cell phone or smartphone ready, just in case you see a UFO. You never know. Fly by. Cheers.